and gentlemen.
It's like a curse.
Greetings.
And I can't escape it. It's like
Good morning.
it's me, Zeus. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming. I'll be flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass. Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas. I play the game.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it.
This is how it's supposed to happen when you're rich and famous.
The algorithm turned to a maniac.
Yeah,
I guess we going viral cause my zodiac.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Franklin is my bestie. And if they use my ex, that mean they left me. They don't give me class if they text me. I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Right.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm conceited.
Let's go.
Call me the master with a new whip. I'ma take off in this spaceship.
I've gone in to see a couple of movies.
Yes.
It was radical.
Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone.
Zeus is going way off the rails.
Like deja vu.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
Right. Let's
It's
go.
like deja vu. Yeah. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming. I'll be back. It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the trash. It's return of the Mac. They say I'm off the rails. I can't wait for you. I get it for myself. So many places to be. I got plenty.
Let's go.
Like you been here before. We start trending. Don't mistake me for a lame or goofy. Rockstar life ends like a movie. Hollywood, Hollywood, where you be at? I remember when I used to drive a Fiat. Now they looking for me like a maniac. It's a conspiracy how I keep on getting checks.
All right, DJ, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. My goodness, my goodness. Once again, we are all back in the Thunderdome. Sorry we got off to a rocky start, but you know what? We're gonna try to have a rocky finish. I see we got some demons bright and early. All right. So before we get started covering today's topics, all right, let's take care of some housekeeping items. For those of you who do not know who I am, I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H, ladies and gentlemen? Well, it's quite simple. The first H stands for honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? The second H. They worship you in the kingdom. Yeah. The second H is humble. There's no more humble than me. Listen, if I get it wrong, I will be the first to apologize. It just turns out I haven't been wrong. Now, just because your feelings are hurt, that doesn't mean that I owe you an apology. Most likely, if your feelings are hurt, that means you need to sit your special behind down. Yeah. And listen to this special broadcast, all right? All right, so that's the second H. And then the last and final H, ladies and gentlemen, is you guessed it. It's because I am and will always remain the most handsome. All right, now many of you are familiar with what we came to do over here on this side of town, on this side of TikTok. What we do on this side of town is very, very special. We hold our friends on the right, especially their cult leader, Donald J. Trump, accountable for their dirty, disgusting, filthy deeds as well as their crimes, all right? And so listen up. If you're a Trump supporter, if you're one of these folks out here who, we're about to go vote in November, and you think, you know what? I think in order to get this country back on track, I should vote for Donald Trump. If you're one of those folks with the MAGA demon, because only someone with the MAGA demon would actually go and vote for Donald Trump, you might want to leave this live and go on with your miserable life. All right, go on with your miserable day, and you go hang out with those fake TikTok hosts. You know who they are. Those fake TikTok lawyers. Now they don't call themselves lawyers. They call themselves legal gurus. who have been lying to you for the past 4+ years about who Donald Trump is and what he stands for. You go over there with them, because we're not going to coddle you over here. Because you know what my rule is. I refuse to allow Trump supporters to be victims around me. You're not victims. All right. As far as I'm concerned, you're a disgrace to this country, and what you have done to this nation is damage beyond repair. If you really want to make America great again, I really firmly believe it starts with the mass deportation of MAGA. All right. So listen up, you traitors. If you don't want to be here, like I said, leave. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
All right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the gloves are officially off, and like I said, MAGA, if I were you in the chat section, I wouldn't even type a word. I wouldn't type Mount Negro, thank you for the subscription. Oh, Sapphire. Hey, Sapphire. So nice of you to come join us today, because you know what? Let's be honest, Sapphire. You know I've been telling the truth to you and your MAGA friends, right? I haven't lied to any of you, not one single time. Look at all the folks on the right. Their TikTok accounts are getting taken down because TikTok says, no. We don't allow misinformation. And what you've been getting is an overload of truth. Thank you, Angel, for the subscription. Now you all know I tend to just kick the show off and start talking about things that I think are important. But I said, you know what? I gotta talk about this. All right. What do I want to talk about? All right. So Donald Trump's behavior, ladies and gentlemen, has called out two things that I think we all need to have a very clear understanding. All right. What is the difference between a warrior and a hostage? All right. I think we need to have this conversation. All right. So, and I'm just going to be quick. I got some definitions. You can go look them up. A warrior embodies courage, strength, and honor. They actively engage in combat, defending their cause or people. Warriors are trained fighters, all right, who willingly face danger, often on the battlefield. They fight for justice, freedoms, or beliefs. Their actions are deliberate, purposeful, strategic. They may sacrifice their lives for a greater cause. Warriors inspire others through their bravery, through their leadership, and unwavering commitment. Hostages, on the other hand, is someone forcibly taken captive by an adversary. They lack agency and control over their situation. Hostages are pawns in conflict, used as leverage to extract concessions from their captors or their enemies. Their actions are limited, reactive, and survival focused. They endure fear, uncertainty, and isolation. Hostages invoke sympathy and empathy, highlighting the human cost of conflicts. In summary, a warrior actively fights for their cause, while a hostage endures captivity. And why am I bringing this up, ladies and gentlemen? All right, well, you know, we got to get this show started, right? The old-fashioned way. The reason this is now going to be something I'm going to continue to try to point out is because once again, Donald Trump has let us all know he is unfit to be president of these United States. And this isn't the only time he's done this, but this is the time I said, you know what? Let's have that conversation. Former President Donald Trump defended his supporters who rioted at the United States Capitol on January 6th, and he called them warriors. What? Wow. This is what he said about the so-called criminals who attacked our Capitol on January 6th. Listen to what he said.
And we're going to change that around. We want to be fair. So we're going to change that. And we're going to change it. And we're going to change it fast. But those J6 warriors, they were warriors, but they were really more than anything else. They're victims of what happened. All they were doing is protesting a rigged election. That's what they were doing. And then the police say, go in, go in, go in. Go in. How about Scaffold Joe, the guy on the scaffold? Or how about the big FBI guy or wherever he comes from? Go on in, everybody, go on in. What a setup that was. What a horrible, horrible thing.
So this is Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, looking at the folks who tried to place a dagger at, no, they did place a dagger at the throat of our democracy. They tried to end the United States as we know it and bring slavery back and take away women's rights, because that's what they were going to do if they succeeded in overturning the election, right? They were going to proceed with trying to, help the South so-called rise again. And then we got these other remarks about how Donald Trump refers to these same people who attacked our Capitol on January 6th.
Country has been in hell. What they've done, and they ought to, you know what they ought to do? They ought to release the J6 hostages. They've suffered enough. They ought to release them. I call them hostages. Some people call them prisoners. I call them hostages. Release the J6 hostages, Joe. Release them, Joe.
Thank you,
Jackie. Real easy, Joe.
See,
this country.
So he's demanding that his supporters who attacked the Capitol be released. They're hostages. They're warriors. Which one is it, ladies? I mean, but you know what's really fascinating about this is look at how far Donald Trump is going to defend these criminals.
Well, thank you very much. And you see the spirit from the hostages, and that's what they are, is hostages. They've been treated terribly and very unfairly, and you know that, and everybody knows that. And we're going to be working on that soon. The first day we get into office, we're going to save our country. We're going to work with the people to treat those unbelievable patriots, and they were unbelievable patriots and are. You see the spirit just cheering, they're cheering while they're doing that, and they did that.
So he has no problem praising the criminals who assaulted our democracy on January 6th. You see this guy, ladies and gentlemen? He is completely unhinged and unfit to be president. So I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and compare Donald Trump's remarks about the January 6th criminals to what he has said about our United States troops, who are the real warriors, all right, and maybe the real hostages. Donald Trump does not respect the United States military. I got people in my chat right now complaining about Russia supposedly being in our backyard. First of all, your leader said, wouldn't it be great if we got along with Russia? So I don't even want to hear this fake outrage you Trump supporters got for Russia. What I want you all to do is continue to sit your special behinds down and listen to this special broadcast. So he praises the January 6ers, and then at the same time, Donald Trump disrespects our United States troops.
Said that he knew what he signed up for, but it hurts anyways.
Listen to how he disrespects our troops.
Dating is like being in Vietnam. Because you're the equivalent of a soldier going over to Vietnam. And if you have any guilt about not having gone to Vietnam, right, we have our own Vietnam. It's called the dating.
We have our own Vietnam. It's called the dating game. Donald Trump is likening his dating experience to soldiers having to go to Vietnam. This is disrespect to our troops.
Did say that more people were killed by women. Yes. Killed in Vietnam. Yes. Okay. That is true. And you get criticized for that statement, but that statement is bringing. I even went as far to say that you're braver than any Vietnam vet because you're out there screwing a lot of women.
You're braver than any Vietnam vet because you're out there hooking up with a lot of women. This is a person who does not respect our troops, but then at the same time calls the January 6ers hostages and warriors.
Congressional Medal of Honor in actuality.
He's not a war hero. He is a war hero. He's a war hero because he was captured.
I like people that weren't captured.
Whoa! About John McCain. He's a war hero because he was captured. I don't like people that were captured. Well, MAGA, look at how many of you were captured on January 6th. He likes y'all all of a sudden. He likes people that get captured breaking the law for him. But if you're a United States member of the United States military and you get captured, he doesn't like you. See, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump does not respect our troops, and instead he praises those who attacked our Capitol on January 6th. Listen to this woman talking about how he couldn't even remember the name of her husband who lost his life in the battlefield. He couldn't remember it, right?
I remember my husband's name. The only way he remembered my husband's name because he told me he had my husband report in front of him. And that's when he actually said, "La David."
You know, something very nice just happened to me. A man came up to me and he handed me his Purple Heart. And I said, man, that's like big stuff. I always wanted to get the Purple Heart. This was much easier.
This is the most disrespectful human being, scum of the earth person I've ever seen. And the fact that he's actually being seriously considered by the Republican Party to be the president of these United States speaks volumes to how unhinged and corrupt the Republican Party currently is. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Because Donald Trump, we're going to give Donald Trump some booze and shame. And this is serious business, all right? We're going to give him those booze and shame because on one hand, he disrespects our United States Air Force, our United States Marines, our Army, anything that involves our military personnel. He has no problem disrespecting them. All right? He doesn't even refer to them as warriors or hostages, right? He actually went as far as to say if John McCain got captured, he doesn't like you because you got captured. But then on the other side, he has praise for the insurrectionists, the Confederate soldiers of his that took a dagger and placed it at the throat of our democracy on January 6th. This man is not a patriot. He's a traitor. And let's give him what he deserves. Our first honorable round of booze and shame.
Silence! You MAGA Demon!
You know, one thing, like I said, I don't allow Trump supporters to gaslight me or try to change the topic about what's really going on. We've got the proof. He praises January 6ers and disrespects our troops. To those of you listening to this broadcast and you got to go vote this November, make the right decision, right? Do you want somebody that their primary job is to be commander-in-chief of the United States? That's their primary job. And this knucklehead, this traitor says, oh no, that's not my job. My job is to disrespect the people that report to me and go out there and heap praises to our enemies. Do you want that kind of lunatic in the White House? It's crystal clear if you ask me. All right, nobody's perfect. I'm not asking you to look at President Biden and say, you know, President Biden's, he's not perfect, so I'm not going to vote for him. I'm not asking you to do that. But if you compare, like President Biden says, don't compare him to the Almighty. Compare him to the alternative. And the alternative to President Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen, is you might as well put the devil himself in the White House. It's sad that we got to have these kind of conversations day in and day out to make sure we keep the American people informed about what's really going on. All right. Now let's move it along. All right. We got more topics to cover. I know. Listen, there's some people out there in my comment section and they're triggered right now. Maybe you didn't hear me when I said this.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Anybody not happy here in the United States of America, raise your hand right now. If you're someone in the United States right now and you're not happy, please raise your hand. Please, I would love to understand what really has you upset right now. What really has you upset right now? Look at this chat. Oh, thank you, Shay, so much. Thank you for the gift, Shay. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. You know, every day I go live. And I'm very patient. I'm a little too patient at times, all right? But I've been asking Trump supporters to really come up here and articulate their position and explain why they believe what they believe. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, there's not one Trump supporter on this app, and there's millions of people on TikTok. There's not one Trump supporter. Thank you, Morningstar. Thank you, Zena Smith. There's not one single Trump supporter that can honestly explain why they believe what they believe. You get them in the box. Okay, tell me why you believe Donald Trump when he said the 2020 election was rigged. Oh, I see what you're trying to do, Zeus. You're trying to trick me. It's not a trick. It's not a, well, the only thing that's a trick is you, right? The only thing is a trick is you. This stuff we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't rocket science. This isn't rocket science. We're not asking you to be a neurological surgeon up here. We're asking you seriously, why do you believe that it was rigged? Still, it's been 4 years. Don't talk about January 6th. No, we're going to keep talking about January 6th as long as people are being brought to justice. All right? You know what they like to do instead? I hate to say this. They like to get on TikTok. I'm pretty convinced now a majority of these Trump supporters, they're probably struggling with substance abuse to a certain degree, whether it's, actually illegal substances or even legal stuff like alcohol. These folks, ladies and gentlemen, are out of their rabbit mind. They think TikTok is, and I want to debate you, Zeus. No, you don't. You just want somebody to yell at. Go yell at yourself in the mirror, perhaps. All right. But I'm not going to be someone you get up here and yell at. All right. When you come talk to Zeus, you either got the information or you don't. If you don't got the information, then sit your special behind down and listen to this special broadcast. No, July 11th is sentencing day for Donald Trump. Yesterday, he had a meeting with his probation officer, all right? So speaking of MAGA, once again, failing to actually explain their position, this happened yesterday on CNN, right? A CNN host, she stumped GOP rep defending Donald Trump's anti-United States remarks by asking him one simple question. All right, you think America's going down in degradation? You think this country's going down? Well, what country is doing better? And listen to this MAGA demon trying to dig himself out of a ditch, all right, only to find himself further and further into it, ladies and gentlemen, all right? And by the way, hold on, let me get it queued up, all right? Okay, so, and by the way, excuse me, we're talking about Norman Hunt, all right? And listen to his explanation, all right? Here we go. Ralph Norman, all right?
Or clarify for me who it is you're supporting. So why won't you endorse your colleague? You're not.
And the Low Countries has a lot of different issues that they're passionate about, and let them decide it. And I'm from the upstate, and I did get involved with the Timmons Morgan race. I came out against William Timmons, and but on the Nancy Mace just decided to stay out of that.
Here it goes.
So before I let you go, we've heard former President Trump. Obviously, he has campaigned. We've heard him say earlier in the show that America is a declining nation. This is something that he talks about all the time. The governor of Pennsylvania, which is a key swing state, he's a Democrat, but he had a different message about what he thinks Republicans should be saying about America. I want you to listen to what Governor Shapiro said, and then I want to get your reaction on the other side. Watch.
Listen up.
All they hear from Donald Trump is a whole bunch of whining about this country. So I got a message to Donald Trump and all his negativity and his whining. Stop talking America. This is the greatest country on earth, and it's time that we all start acting like it.
Well, I gotta say, sir, I'm a patriotic American. Does he have a point?
President Trump, as does the American people, see what's happening to America. He is exactly right. Look at what's happening in this country.
What's happening?
Talk to the average voter out there who is very upset with inflation. They're very upset with the 13 to 15 million illegals coming into this country.
Would you still
They're
call
very
us the
upset
greatest
with the
country on
crime.
earth, as many politicians often have?
Yeah.
It once was the greatest country on earth. We're in a rapid decline
And it's
under
not
the last
anymore?
3.5 years of this Biden administration. Pardon me?
It's not anymore. I mean, which country would you say is greater than the United States of America?
Well, unless we get our finances in order, unless we stop spending and printing money, we cannot continue what we have been in the past, which is a shining city on the hill. And it's the direct result of the liberal policies that this administration continues to.
So when asked if this is not the greatest nation, look at the lefty cities that say they love this country. No, Sapphire, that's not true. Every city that you think has been destroyed is still here. Name one city that's completely wiped off the map, Sapphire. See, Sapphire, once again, I've caught you in another lie, ma'am. I'm going to really need you to stay out of those lives with those fake TikTok hosts that you hang out with, all right? Because they don't know any better, Sapphire, all right? They're lying to you to take your money, just like your cult leader, all right? So, Sapphire, knock it off. And let's get back to the real question. What country, Sapphire, would you say is greater than the United States of America? And you know what's going to happen? We'll never get an answer out of MAGA. We never get answers out of all of you because you don't know. All you're doing is running off of emotion. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, right, Jess? On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to need you to help me. Join me, all right, in giving Representative Ralph Norman, a MAGA demon, and actually our friend Sapphire here, who's still trying to come to grips with the fact that Donald Trump is a terrible person, all right, as well as Trump and all the other MAGA demons, what they deserve. A round of boos and shame. I don't care if you block me. Go.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
You know, these Trump supporters, they like to come into my live and say stuff like, I'm going to block you. I do not care. Okay, maybe you didn't hear me at the top of my show, but the rule in here is Trump supporters are not allowed to be victims around Zeus, because look at all the harm you've done to this country. The gloves are officially off when it comes down to MAGA, all right? And many of you are going, well, why are the gloves off? Well, I say, well, it all started with the birther conspiracy about Barack Hussein Obama. You remember that big old lie that you told about our first black president, MAGA? You remember that? I haven't forgotten it. No, I know exactly what happened. All right. And then you want to know when the gloves came off? I'll tell you, the gloves came off on January 6th, when you all, led by your cult leader, Donald J. Trump, decided to take a dagger and place it at the throat of our democracy. You know, it's like Joe Biden says. Maybe you haven't. Maybe I have to play it again.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. They refuse to accept the results of a free election.
Hey, MAGA, why do you refuse to accept the results of the election? Why, MAGA, why can't y'all just play by the same rules we all got to play by?
And they see their MAGA failure to stop a peaceful transfer of power after the 2020 election as preparation for the 2022 and 2024 elections.
And the funny thing about that is you Trump supporters, y'all don't think we know. Y'all trying to do it all over again. Why do you think we got President Biden in the White House? We saw you cheating in 2016, all right? But we were caught off guard a little bit, right? And honestly, I thought you Trump supporters would eventually wake up and see that this guy right here is bad news. But once we saw that, oh, y'all can't even make decisions for yourselves because he's got you all under his control. That's when we said, you know what? We got to get this situation under control. And we voted Donald Trump out in 2020, even though he tried to cheat again. Remember, he cheated in 2016. And we got the proof he cheated in 2016 with this recent conviction. Yeah, he falsified the business records to hide the fact that he was actually engaging in election interference and breaking tax laws. Yeah, that's what he did. And that's how he got the competitive edge over Hillary Clinton. You know, in sports, they would call this, taking performance enhancing, PEDs. That's what they would say he did in sports. He cheated to win in 2016. He tried to cheat in 2020. That's what January 6th was all about. But we caught him and we stopped him. Donald Trump knows the only way he could ever win again is to cheat. And now he got y'all believing, all right, and a lot of you believe him. We can get away with it this time. You're not going to get away with it. All right? Even if you do what he says do. They got this new thing. Make sure you go watch them vote. You think that's going to stop us? Do you think that's really going to stop what's coming your way? I tell you, these are the same folks that believed in the red wave and it turned out to be a red trickle, right? This is why I say what I got to say. Sapphire, all of you Trump supporters, knock it off. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these Trump supporters what they deserve. Another round of, you guessed it, booze and shame. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I have another update about another MAGA demon that has been brought to justice. All right, here we go. A January 6th rioter from North Carolina in Blue Lives Matter shirt attacked officers, has pled guilty. Talk about irony, right? You're wearing a shirt that says Blue Lives Matters while attacking law enforcement. This is a MAGA demon on steroids. A couple traded their small North Carolina town for Capitol Hill's chaos on January 6th. On Monday, one of them pled guilty for the trip's itinerary. After traveling to Washington, D.C. in matching Blue Lives Matter sweatshirts, the pair broke through walls of Metropolitan Police Department officers outside of the Capitol, according to court documents filed in the United States District Court in the District of Columbia. Them knuckles right there from one of those MFers faces at the Capitol. Curtis Davis says in a video he took of his injured hand while in Washington with Tanya Bishop. Davis charged into the Capitol Rotunda at 3 p.m. that day, joining a crowd of rioting Donald Trump supporters who were enraged by his false claims of a stolen election. There, Davis forcibly attacked an officer and lunged for his baton. By 3:09 p.m., this is under 10 minutes, he had punched an officer's face, shield, and another officer's head, according to court documents. He also used a police shield, one that he pried from an officer's hand, to help push rioters into the wall of law enforcement authorities lining the Capitol. Look at this guy. Look at him. After being expelled from the rotunda, he circled back to throw more punches, according to found footage and body camera video. An FBI agent investigated the couple's involvement after someone submitted a tip in October 2021, according to court documents. Greene County sheriffs identified Davis, saying Davis had previous encounters with law enforcement and was arrested last month after the riot in February of 2021. The FBI arrested Davis in Snow Hill, an eastern North Carolina town of less than 2,000 people, nearly 3 years later. The 45-year-old pled guilty on Monday to felony charges of assaulting, resisting, or impeding certain officers before U.S. District Judge Amit Mehta, who will sentence Davis on October 18th. Bishop Davis' partner has a status hearing scheduled for June 27th. If both are sentenced, they will join at least 30 North Carolina January 6 defendants who have been sentenced thus far. You see this, MAGA? Another J6er has been brought to justice. They're not warriors or hostages. They're traitors. All right? But since they want to be soldiers for Donald J. Trump so bad, you know what we got to do. Number one, ladies and gentlemen, join me in giving these seditionist, treasonous traitors what they deserve. A round of boos and shame.
Silence, you MAGA demon!
All right, and let's send them off the old-fashioned way since they want to be soldiers so bad. They want to be Confederate soldiers so bad. Let's send them off.
I'd like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol. Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement to secure the building and expel the intruders. America is and must always be a nation of law and order. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. To those who engage in the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
You hear that, MAGA? Do you understand how Donald Trump played you all like a fiddle? He lured you to the Capitol on January 6th, and then after you broke the law, you know what he did? He told you to take your special behinds back home, all right? And you can't lie and say he didn't say you were special.
I know your pain. I know you're hurt. We had an election that was stolen from us. It was a landslide election, and everyone knows it, especially the other side. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened, where they could take it away from all of us, from me, from you, from our country. This was a fraudulent election, but we can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. You've seen what happens. You see the way others are treated that are so bad and so evil.
You're special.
I know how you feel. But go home and go home in peace.
You MAGA supporters, any Trump supporters still out there that believes Donald Trump? You know what I gotta say? These Trump supporters, they get on TikTok and they try to complain about what's going on. And they say ridiculous things like, the rest of the world is laughing at the United States. I got some bad news for you, MAGA. That's not true. The rest of the world is laughing at you. MAGA, if it wasn't so dangerous what you're doing, we would totally be laughing. But let me help you understand why the world is laughing at MAGA. They're laughing at you because you're all in Donald Trump's circus. Donald Trump is going to go down in the Guinness Book of Records, World Records, as the most successful ringmaster we've ever seen. All right? And you know it's a circus because look at what Donald Trump does. He does exactly what a clown does, right? A clown wears makeup. Look at this guy. I can't even look at this guy and not really. This is ridiculous. Look at him. He's wearing makeup, orange makeup. MAGA, don't I look so good? A clown wears a wig. What does this guy do? He puts a bird's nest smack dab right there on his cranium. All right. You ever seen a clown that got that thing on its waist in that ridiculous outfit? This guy, same thing, wearing the diaper, puts on that same crumpled blue suit with the red tie, and he even got folks to dress up like him and go to his court case in New York. This is a circus. And you Trump supporters, you're literally walking the tightrope of lies. You're jumping through hoops for this man, defending things you know good and well you shouldn't be defending. But he got you doing it. Think about it, MAGA. He's selling you gold shoes. When was the last time your special behind needed some gold shoes, MAGA? You don't need gold shoes anywhere except for in a circus. Where do you need Trump bucks at? A circus. It's like Chuck E. Cheese on steroids with you guys. And gals. You folks get out there, you get the little face paint. You know, they get the face paint. They get the tattoos of Donald Trump on them. They even put the tattoos on their lower backs. I've seen grown men with Donald Trump tattoos on their lower backs. This is sick stuff you've all gotten yourselves into. Selling you Trump steaks. Selling you Trump water. NFTs. You out here crying about eggs. I can't buy any eggs. I can't put no gas in my car. But then we look at the TV and Donald Trump is raking in record profits from you. When are you Trump supporters going to wake up and realize you're in Donald Trump's playhouse? You ever heard of Pee Wee Herman? It's like Pee Wee Herman's playhouse, but this is Donald Trump's playhouse. And you won't survive. You won't live this. All right? So, with that being said, MAGA, I want you to make sure you understand this. Playtime is over. The rest of the world sees you for what you are. You can't hide behind being Christians. That doesn't work because you're not Christians, you're hypocrites. You can't hide behind trying to be a patriot. You're not patriots, you're traitors. And as far as I'm concerned, you're just as guilty as this 4-time indicted, 34 convicted knucklehead, your cult leader, Donald J. Trump. Oh, that lightning was strong. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes my monologue. Let's open up these boxes and have some of these tough conversations to help get the truth out here about what's really happening in this country. All right, I honestly, I've realized it's a waste of my time to actually entertain Trump supporters. At least in terms of having a serious conversation. The way this is working now, ladies and gentlemen, because I've asked so long for a MAGA to produce dirt on Joe Biden and they have failed, and because Trump supporters, they failed to actually foresee the situation that Donald Trump is in, even though they walk around on TikTok with these titles as, TikTok hosts. They used to go by TikTok lawyers. Now they're not lawyers. They're just legal gurus. And they refuse to take accountability. I'm really not in the mood to talk to them. All right. Yeah. MAGA is the definition of sad. MAGA is the definition of desperate. All right. A lot of you, especially those of you who spend a lot of time on this app, y'all need to hang it up and start taking care of yourselves. All right, seriously, take care of your family. If you're happily married, go spend some time with your significant other. All right, because you really have nothing else going for you. All right, you're very miserable, and we get it. But this ain't the place to get the help you need. All right, let's bring up some of our first panelists. All right, who this is? Good morning, Matt. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
All right. This is our first time doing business?
I think so.
All right. Well, you know how this goes. I'm going to ask you some questions, and then after that, you get your 3 minutes, all right? And this is just so I can gauge where you're at when it comes to things that matter the most.
Sure.
All right. First question. Do you believe Donald Trump's claim that the 2020 election was rigged? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. You got that wrong. Hold on. Let them get it. Let them get it out. All right. Second question. Who would you say if you had to put one person to be responsible for the attack on the Capitol on January 6th? Who would that one person be based on your knowledge and expertise?
Nancy Pelosi.
Oh my goodness! You got that one wrong. All right, last and final question. I'm gonna be honest, and I think you might be able to pull this one out. Do you have any evidence to support your belief, to support the belief that President Joe Biden, is a criminal? Do you know of any such evidence that exists that supports he's a criminal?
Yes, the evidence they're using. Well, hold on, I didn't even get the answer.
You got that one.
Shame on you for doing that.
So no. There's no such thing. I'm the host. You're not.
Shame on you, though.
No. It's actually shame on you.
No.
All right. Now let's get no.
Of course it's real.
Let's get into this. What do you want to talk about? It's 3 minutes. I'm surprised that you had the courage to come up here. A lot of
you're just using it right now as evidence. Of course it's real.
Okay, that what I'm talking about. And
after 51 people said it was fake.
It's still fake, if you ask me.
How did 51 people say it's fake, but they're using it in court?
How did they get the laptop?
Are you not in favor of the justice system?
Listen. How did they get the laptop? How'd they get the laptop? You know how this. Let me explain how it is.
Yeah, Hunter took it. He took it to a fix your iPhone kind of thing, and someone turned.
No. They stole his data and placed it on a laptop. All right, Matt. Now finish saying. Now finish saying what you were saying.
You can't lie to these people. You have 1,000 people on here lying.
Listen,
you can't do that.
Is that what you're up here to talk about, Matt? Seriously.
I just want you to stop lying.
No, see, Matt. You know what? I'm gonna give you one
You
more
lie.
chance. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Why'd you lie?
Let's give Matt what he deserves, ladies and gentlemen. Matt, cry me a river. You deserve this. Hold on. Where did my comments go? I see my comment. So, Matt, let me go ahead and help you understand where I'm at with this whole Hunter Biden thing, Matt. I didn't vote for Hunter Biden, number one. And when I asked you for dirt on Joe Biden, the only thing you brought up was that ridiculous laptop thing. You know how this works, right? People stole his data and they put it on a laptop to try to frame him. Get out of here, Matt, with that nonsense. The only criminal that I am talking about on this show, Matt, is Donald J. Trump. And I asked you 3 important questions and you failed to get them right. Matt, as far as I'm concerned, you're not that bright, all right? You are special, but not in the way that you think you are, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to give Matt what he deserves once again. Another round of booze and shame because he's the example of what I'm talking about when I talk about Trump supporters. They lack the ability to answer simple questions. They get in the box and they try to detract, they try to deflect and escape accountability, all right? Because they know if they were honest, that would mean they would have to tell everybody that they themselves are a bunch of liars and hypocrites. Matt, this one is for you. Zero credibility.
You MAGA Demon!
Zero credibility. All right. For those of you watching this show, Jesus Christ, man, look at that. You let one MAGA demon in, and all of a sudden you can't bring up any more. Oh, good morning, Moo. Welcome back.
What's going on, man? How are you today?
Hey, I'm all right. Just another day in the kingdom. How are you?
Good,
Yeah.
good. I figured I'd give you some information here on the District of Columbia because Washington D.C. is part of the District of Columbia, right?
Yes.
So the District of Columbia is unique in that the president is the commander-in-chief of the National Guard for the District of Columbia. He's also in charge of the state police, and he delegates that authority down to the Secretary of Defense as well. But the commander-in-chief of the National Guard in the District of Columbia is the President of the United States.
Bingo. And
All
we
right,
all
so-
and we all should know that to a certain degree, right? This has been going on for so long. This shouldn't be no breaking news.
Yeah. So the idea that Nancy Pelosi is in any way responsible for the state police or the National Guard is false. And if you don't believe me, I literally just looked it up on the District of Columbia's National Guard site. You can go there and look at it yourselves.
Right.
That's
Now,
my
but-
source.
But Moo, let me say this. And this because this little clip came out right about Nancy Pelosi. Let's just say, for the sake of their argument, she was responsible for the National Guard.
Sure.
Was the National Guard needed before the attack on the Capitol or after?
No, it was quite peaceful before MAGA decided to
Okay.
commit an insurrection.
Okay. So while we can debate about what happened after it was attacked, was Nancy Pelosi involved in the actual planning and execution of the attack?
No, Nancy Pelosi had nothing to do with what happened on January 6th. Nancy Pelosi is just a congresswoman who used to be a decent Speaker of the House, but she has nothing to do with any of that.
You hear that, MAGA?
Yeah.
Tell them. So because they're trying to make it look like she was planning this with Donald Trump.
Well, one of you guys managed to attack her husband and beat him in the head with, I believe, what was a hammer a bunch of times and put him in the hospital.
Yep.
So I don't see why she would work with the person who's in charge of the miscreants who attacked her husband.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That really doesn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, no, it wasn't his lover either.
No, it was a MAGA individual. Y'all do things like this, man. Y'all show up to like FBI offices and try to attack people there, and there's all kinds of situations aside from January 6th where you guys run into protesters with cars, and you even managed to unalive one of your own people, and you don't seem to care. And now at this point, Donald Trump has admitted to you that he just wants your vote. He doesn't care if you pass out from heat. He doesn't care if you get thrown in prison. He just wants your vote, and you guys are okay with that. So
Yeah.
I would say that's cult-like behavior.
It is. It's cult-like behavior, and you know what the term is? They say Trump supporters are cult vulnerable. That's what they are. These are some of the lowest self-esteemed individuals I've ever ran across. They never developed in this area. It's bizarre.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said before, the problem is, these guys have a lot of trouble talking to women in particular, and then they seek out these fake alpha males like Donald Trump and Andrew Tate because they come off to these people as strongmen, but they're always whining all the time. They're always complaining all the time. Oh, it's too cold in the courtroom. Oh, they come after me like no one else ever before. Well, if you'd stop committing crimes, they wouldn't come after you like anyone else ever before, right? So, and then there's the two-tier justice system, right? Well, Donald Trump didn't turn people. I mean, he might have turned MAGA onto the two-tier justice system, but MAGA's not politically savvy before Donald Trump, and anybody who knows that there's been a two-tier justice system in this country for as long as its inception. It's engineered towards white people and always has been, and there is systemic racism, and it needs to be reformed and taken care of. So, that is what it is.
Exactly. Well, listen up, Moo. I appreciate you, my good friend. My timer's struggling over here, but any last words before we move on to our next panelist?
Vote for Joe Biden if you'd like to keep your democracy intact and have more opportunities to take over the Democrat Party with more progressives.
Amen. Amen. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's give our good friend Moo the Tuxedo a round of applause.
Thanks. Have a good one, man.
Thank you so much, brother. All right, I appreciate you. I got some Trump supporters in my comment section, and they're triggered, right? They're upset with Zeus. Zeus, I don't like the way you run your live. They're crying in the comment section. Well, maybe you didn't hear me at the top of the show.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country.
Thank you, Rick.
If you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Oh, I'm not the one sitting up here crying and complaining. A lot of you Trump supporters, you need to get off your rusty dusty and get out there and get a job. All right? And stop watching Fox News, listening to those hosts convince you that you're a failure because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden doesn't know you. If you're sitting at home and you feel like a failure, that's a you problem. This is a disgrace to this country, what we got to do out here to rid this country of this MAGA demonic force that you cult vulnerable individuals have allowed to enter into your body and do what it wants to you. Some sick stuff. Let's bring up our next panelist, ladies and gentlemen. You can't make this stuff up. Hi, Jess.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, good morning. You know what I've been thinking about?
Go ahead. Let the community know. Let the kingdom know, Jess. Tell them.
What does America First mean?
Mm.
Because I've been hearing that a lot. I've been hearing Trump is America First. That's why we're voting for him. But what are you guys really doing for Americans? Because all I hear is that healthcare is not a right. You don't want to feed hungry Americans. You don't care about free school lunches. You don't care about expanding child care for parents. You don't care about any of that. You don't care about anything at all that has to do with actually helping your fellow Americans. So what is it? And anyway,
get them, Jess. They don't. In MAGA world, up is down, down is up. All right. So when they say America first, they might as well be saying Russia first.
Exactly. They don't care. And I heard someone in the comments talking about crime, and the FBI just released some new stats.
Oh, really?
And when I tell you,
Oh.
wrong article. Sorry.
No, but MAGA, look at how Jess is bringing up information. This is how you should come in boxes and talk to people.
Right here, March dropped 15%.
Wow!
Violent crime dropped 15%. Aggravated assaults are dropping down. Yeah, so we're doing great. We're doing amazing under Biden. He has helped the American people. He has a plan for housing. He has a plan for the American people trying to get their starter homes, people getting credits for their mortgages, all kinds of things. And this is what he is doing for us.
Yep. Yeah. And unemployment is at a record low. Black unemployment under 6% since February of 2022. That's the lowest it's ever been in American history.
And you have this man telling you over the weekend at the rally, I don't care about you. I just want your vote. Oh, but then the media is going to twist this and blah, 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 blah. Listen, he's telling you everything he means. He's telling you everything he wants to do. You know, when people, there's studies out on the subconscious. When you're joking, there is still some truth to it.
Wow. Yeah.
So even if you're joking, you still mean it a little bit. And we know who Trump is. We know what he wants. We know what he does.
Yeah.
And he may just be another crayon in the box, because I feel like even if he doesn't win presidency, we still have to remain vigilant. But he is a big part of the puzzle.
Wow.
Big part of it. And we need to stay together. Stand
Tell
united.
him, Jess. Tell him, Jess. Tell him,
And
Jess.
if you're really for Americans, if you really care about your fellow American people, you would be voting for Joe Biden.
Amen. Tell him, Jess.
Thank you for having me up.
You're absolutely welcome. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give the beautiful Jess a round of applause. Now, I'm seeing in the chat, Hunter Biden has been found guilty of these charges. First of all, what a sad day in America. This is clearly election interference by a Trump-appointed judge. I've been saying this since we all knew they indicted him. Wow! It's a rigged system. Look at all my legal experts right here. Look at what Jonathan Turley. I've never seen a case like this in my entire career. The way they did this to Hunter Biden, ladies and gentlemen, is ridiculous. Hunter Biden convicted on all 3 charges, federal gun trial. They've convicted him. Wow. Wow. He violated laws meant to prevent drug addicts from owning firearms. Wow, wow, wow. They wouldn't even allow the experts to testify. Wow. Has anything ever happened like this before? Wow, wow, wow. The judge is totally conflicted. Election interference. All right. Unprecedented limitations on the Biden campaign. These are the legal experts. All right. Remember how Bill Clinton stole the 1992 election? Don't you all see this is election interference? They're going after President Joe Biden. This is weaponized DOJ. This is a rogue DOJ. Merrick Garland, stop right now. Yes, kangaroo court. I've never seen anything like this. All right, this is what we call taking the law too seriously. This is taking the law way too serious. 2-tier justice system, all right? Hunter Biden's prosecution is a bogus case by a bogus prosecutor. I mean, these are legal experts. I am just completely disgusted by this 2-tier justice system. Yes, we're going to appeal this we're going to appeal this because, as you can see, this was a gross miscarriage of justice. Those jury instructions, What? They didn't even let the lawyers say what they wanted to say. They didn't even let Hunter Biden's defense lawyers say what they wanted to say about those jury instructions. Wow, they're doing this to cause harm to President Biden's campaign. I don't know if you can see it. MAGA, are you there, MAGA? Are you willing to join forces with me today, MAGA? All right, because this two-tier justice system, it needs to be stopped immediately. Election interference! Are you any Trump supporters want to join me? Didn't you see what they did to him? They brought in the laptop. Think about that. He doesn't even use laptops like that. Like, when was you? Do you really think this man did what they said he did? I mean, think about it, MAGA. This is, who hasn't done what he's done? I mean, no other country. This is a banana republic, and I'm not talking about the clothing store. This is a banana republic. America is going down, ladies and gentlemen. This needs to stop immediately. Call him off, Joe. Joe Biden, call him off, sir. This is enough. You're tearing this country up. I just can't believe they've done this to Hunter Biden. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what we got to do. Let's give this rogue and corrupt DOJ, all right, which we all know is full of Trump supporters. This is what Donald Trump did when he was president. He put a bunch of these rogue judges and these rogue prosecutors in there to go after his political rivals' family. Let's give these folks what they deserve. A round of boos and shame.
You MAGA demon!
Now, the only silver lining I can see is maybe this will do. This is probably what's been going on. This is probably why President Biden's poll numbers have been surging through the roof, right? Right? So, you know what? Let's go ahead and let Hunter Biden continue to help President Biden's poll numbers surge. But we need to look into this DOJ thing, ladies and gentlemen. We really need to. All right, let's move it along, ladies and gentlemen. All right, good morning. Tiffany. Wow, beautiful Tiffany. How are you doing? Good morning. How are you?
Hi, Zeusy. Juicy Zeusy with the truthy, looking extra handsome.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Oh my goodness.
Hello everybody in the kingdom. How are you feeling, Zeus?
I was feeling good, but then this Hunter Biden thing is kind of making me very angry. Can you believe they're doing this?
Well, I just think it speaks to the double standards and the hypocrisy of MAGA, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to come up and say something really quickly, like, okay, I was going to talk about support versus being in a cult.
Okay.
Okay, so for instance, like, I would like to support you. I have subscribed to you, right? But like, I also would hold you accountable if you did something wrong.
That part. And I would expect you to do that.
And vice versa. So accountability matters, right?
Yes.
The thing is that when you're in a cult, you don't do that. You just listen blindly and follow. Just follow Daddy Trump. And hold on, and let me, before I go on, what is with the MAGA Mandy's were very unhinged today. You saw him, you saw really? Sapphire. Yeah, you saw Sapphire here earlier.
Yeah.
And then Sadie also. I think that they're very pressed about you, Zeus, and they were mad you were not paying them any attention.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I said hi. I said hello.
The MAGA Megans are upset. Okay. So I do want MAGA to remember this. It's never too late to get an education. It's never too late to look things up, okay? Because the internet is your endless information. I mean, the internet can be problematic, but I really truly want you to look up the term cognitive dissonance. Just Google it. Because when I tell you that this term is what is hindering you and preventing you from growth and from evolving and from having empathy, It's hindering your life. And honestly, like we've talked about before, I feel like it's turning them into, it's like psychosis, right?
Yeah. It's slowing them. It's stopping them from maturing, right?
Somebody,
Huh?
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at some point a caterpillar should become a butterfly, right? These folks are just hell bent on being caterpillars the rest of their life. It's ridiculous.
You would think. Somebody spelled cognitive dissonance in the chat, okay? Because they might not be able to spell it, okay? And it's a problem, right? Because this is what's hindering you and adding to your bigotry. It's adding to your misogyny, your racism, right? So I find it interesting that every time you invite these MAGA demons up, they have nothing to say, nothing to add to the conversation. And all they do is talk. Listening is imperative. Reading is imperative. You don't have to have a college.
Tip. One person says, "So you're calling us dumb? LOL. Liberals swear they're smart." Could you elaborate on what you are trying to say? Because it went right over his head.
Well, first of all, I don't do anti-intellectualism, so don't shame people for having an education. Okay, it's never too late to go back to school. Student8.gov. You can go apply for financial aid. Everyone can. You can go back to school. Okay, first of all, so we're not going to shame those who actually seek to have a higher education, right? What I'm saying is, no, you don't necessarily have to have a degree to be smart, but you can read and you can listen. The problem is that you need to have information from credible sources, and you don't know how that looks. And playing a game of telephone and hearing something from your aunt, I don't know who was up here earlier, if it was yesterday, I heard this about something. Oh, it was Angela's live earlier. It's like, you can't just repeat things and call it a credible source. That's not how it works. It has to be fact-based and fact-checked. So
Tell him, Tiffany.
Turn off your camera. Oh, destitution, babe. You never came up. Are you mad that I'm cute?
Hey!
Look, babe.
He's jealous, all right?
He's jealous because we know they can't get women. Okay. Oh, thank you for the cute hair. So just settle down, destitution. Could you have an AI pic for your profile pic? At least I can cam up and. But see this the pretty face, the ladies in here, the sexiness in here comes from within and here. It's not just exterior.
Yeah. Okay. Tell them, Tiffany. See, restitution or destitution. You call them destitution. Yeah.
Destitution. That's a good one.
You're a dusty MAGA demon, champ. Knock it off. You don't have just keep it quiet. You shouldn't even be allowed to speak to any of the panelists. You're such a low life.
Babe, you would never be able to breathe the same air as us over here, okay?
Tell him, Tiffany. Tell him.
Yeah, and no, I don't. Actually, I'm a legal studies major, so get it together. He said I have a liberal arts degree. Again, with shaming education. Okay, Zeus, I love you guys.
All right. Love you too, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up to the beautiful Tiffany for the people. What did he say? Hold on. Piff. You're sitting in my comment section crying. What are you crying about? What are you talking? I just sent you an invite. You don't got to stay in the comment section. Come on up here real quickly and explain to Zeus why I should entertain you in my comment section. Why are you crying like a little child? I don't like having kids in my life. You know that's illegal, right? Don't come in here acting like a kid, Piff. Act like you have some intelligence. All right?
You done?
Are you? You sound like you need.
I mean, I'm 34 years old, brother. I'm not a kid. I'm 34 years old.
Well, act like it.
Oh, I am.
No.
I'm listening.
Okay. Well, why are you not providing intellectually informative conversational pieces? What's with all the spamming in my chat section, bro?
I haven't spammed anything. All I'm doing is just speaking from the opposite position. I don't believe in what y'all are saying.
You don't believe in what we're saying.
I don't agree with what you're saying. I don't agree with what she said as well.
Okay,
so,
but there's healthy ways to disagree.
So am I wrong that I don't agree with what y'all are saying?
It depends on what you don't agree with.
Well, I don't agree that Biden is better than Trump for this country. I don't believe that by far.
Okay, and what if I don't believe you need air to breathe?
Say it again.
What if I said I don't believe I need air to breathe?
I mean, what would you
say to me?
If you feel
no.
you don't need air to breathe, then that's how you feel. Who
But
am I to say that? Hey, we don't need air to breathe. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I see how your
So
mind works.
I
Okay, I
can't
see how
speak
your
for
mind.
I can't speak for you, but I see like all the time on TikTok that there's a lot of black people they're speaking for other black people that don't agree with them. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
fact that the people on TikTok, the black people on TikTok, they'll have a problem with that instead of seeing why we don't agree with the things that y'all are saying.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So, but let's go back to my analogy about I say something to you like you don't need air to breathe. I could believe that. I can have my own opinion. I agree with you. But one of us is wrong, right? You what I'm trying to get you to understand is there's rules to life. There's rules to how things work in this world, right? Whether you like them or not, there's rules.
All right, I get it. I get that and I understand that,
Okay,
right?
okay,
But
okay, okay.
as
Okay.
far as like me sitting back, like I'm just sitting back and I'm listening, man. And like I said, at the end of the day, you know how y'all talk about people who
Wait a
support.
second. Wait a second. Wait a second. You're moving too fast for me. So if you and I agree that there's rules to how things in this world, in this universe work, then a person who's not really following those rules are not going to get the results that they want because they refuse to adapt. They refuse to learn and understand. Right?
So we were so us refusing to be what progressive is an issue. It's an
No.
issue.
No, no. It's the fact that you can't actually adapt to what's happening in your environment. For instance, what's true needs to be learned, understood, and then you need to adopt it so you can move to the next level and get to the next level. Failure to do that means you're going to keep making the same mistake in your life, right? So, like, for instance, I don't believe I need to pay my bills. What's going to happen is I'm going to go through a nasty process about why you should pay your bills. The quicker I learn that I need to pay my bills, the quicker I can move on to the next phase. Right? You get what I'm trying to say?
I'm listening.
Okay, so the thing is, you said something to me, and all kinds of alarm bells went off when you said you don't believe. You said you believe Donald Trump is better for this country than Joe Biden, right?
Of course, 100%.
Right. So, what? Just use your way. What thing could you point to and say this is why I believe that? Because there's a universe out there, but for you to focus on that thing, you might be missing the big picture. So I'm curious for why you would say that.
I just if you wake up every day and you look at the TV, man, and you see how they prosecuting this man just from being a president. But meanwhile, you got a lot of people in Congress running around doing illegal stuff every day, and we don't see half the news. You know what I'm saying? We don't see half of these news stations even reporting on anything outside of Trump. So everybody that be in these comment sections, look, I'm sitting back and I can see that people are talking about me in your comments, and I have no issue with that. You feel what I'm saying? Like when people can agree to disagree. At the end of the day, that you know what the way that I look at it is, we're all Americans, and so the fact that TikTok allowed people to
Okay, I get what you're saying, and I gotta be quick. So you're saying the way they're prosecuting Donald Trump, right?
yeah. So that not only that, but if you go back to when he was a president, I mean,
Wait. I want to.
So
Listen. When do we really get into this prosecution thing? Do you believe that if somebody in this country breaks the law, they should be prosecuted? Like, for instance, you got a car or a house or something, and say somebody run up in your house and they start to stealing and taking stuff. Do you think that person should be prosecuted?
no, because I'm gonna smoke them.
No. Well, then but if you don't do it legally, you gonna end up going to prison, right?
But
There's
you're
rules
correct.
behind it.
But
No,
that's for me to know the law and everything else.
But did you hear what I said? Do you think they should be held accountable? Whether
The
you're doing it or the law does it, they should be.
Who breaks in my house?
Yeah, or
Yeah, I
steals your
believe
car.
that should
Okay,
be
so
done.
stop right there. So the thing is, what you're hearing on your television, there's a good chance that what they're telling you isn't really what's going on. Have you ever thought about that?
So correct. So
Okay, so
MSNBC, CNN,
no.
The View, all these different radio shows, ABC.
Let me
all these
finish.
different
Let me
radio
see my
shows that paint narratives.
so the exercise is you got to go out and do your own fact finding.
And that's what I do. That's why
Okay,
I'm in the comment section. That's why I'm in the comment section saying stuff,
Listen,
man.
brother. All right. Because when it comes to Donald Trump's crimes, your own fact finding would have led you to the courthouses that he's being charged at, right? And
These
you would have
these liberal
no.
courthouses with these liberal judges with these little mock people that they're putting together to prosecute the man. Like that's lit. You can literally see it for yourself. Like
Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a
nobody is
second.
on being put on in this man's side. Like
Okay.
everybody is
Okay.
doing
Wait.
this
Wait.
for
Wait.
some
Wait. Wait.
type of clout and
Okay.
political
And I'm
purposes. Man.
and I'm glad you brought that up because that makes about as much sense, all right, as a lot of the other stuff that Donald Trump is saying. In order for your statement to be true, you have to understand that's a lot of work, right?
Correct, but
Wait, no, 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 no,
Can I
no,
say
but
this? Can I just say this, brother? I'm listening to everything you say, right?
no, I don't.
Like
I
I
don't
said,
think you are. I don't think you are.
see.
I don't think
See,
you are. You're
trust me, man. Trust
you're
me. I
listening.
listen.
You're
That's the number
listening
one
to
thing
be
about me.
you're listening to be reactive. All right.
I'm not. I'm not. I just want to say this.
Every time I make a point, I want you to observe how quick you start to defending Donald Trump.
So
And
so
ask
that's the
yourself, and ask
issue.
yourself,
So
and no, that's a personal issue.
that's
No
an issue that
man,
I
no
support.
man,
That I
no. Listen, you shouldn't have to defend anybody like that. This is the problem.
but y'all are defending Joe Biden and Hunter Biden and Nancy Pelosi and
No, no,
every one of these other crooked people, man.
no,
So the thing is, right?
no, sir. I got to stop you. We're not doing that. All I'm doing is bringing information out here to challenge all of this nonsense that has been going on since Donald Trump came down that golden escalator and started spreading all these lies. Look at what's happening right now. In 2024, Donald Trump has just been convicted, right? You just saw that, liberal judges or not. And what's came out, if you've been paying attention, is that this is all tied to what he did in 2016. He engaged in election interference.
Which
And
was
he
proven false. Which was proven false, my brother.
No.
False, my brother.
And see, on that note, I'm going to ask that you really go listen to what.
I did.
No. I'm convinced. I'm convinced you're not listening. You're just trying to respond. The facts are the facts, bro. He's convicted, whether I like it or not.
Man,
and if it was really the Democrats, I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was really like you said it was, this would have been done a long time ago. All the witnesses, if you didn't pay attention to the case, there were 20 witnesses for the prosecution. And guess what? These are all Trump people. There was not one single Democrat that came in there and threw him under the bus. This was his people. Explain to me that. It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
When Trump came into office, right?
No.
I'm gonna say this to you, brother.
Piff. I asked you, explain to me why all the witnesses are his people if it was the Democrats.
Oh, so you let me talk now?
If you answer the question.
I feel like, honestly, a lot of people is in cahoots with each other, whether it's Republican, whether it's Democrat, they're all in cahoots with each other, man.
Or Piff. How about this? Maybe he did it.
And maybe so. You know what I'm saying? But at the end
when
of
the last time you was able to get everybody to go against
you?
you? When was the last time you got everybody in the neighborhood to go against you on one thing? It don't work like that. This is universal laws at work, brother. There is no way on earth Michael Cohen, Stormy Daniels, Karen McDougal, David Pecker all had a secret meeting to go after Donald Trump.
They all can take money as well, my brother. They all can take money. They all can switch over money, man. You feel what I'm saying? So,
but you have no evidence they did that.
I get it. I get it, right? I get
so
it.
You
right?
gotta stop.
They don't have a lot of look, right?
Wait a second. No, your claim was they took money. Your claim was they took money. There's no proof of any of them taking money to get all on this same type of time and lie about Donald Trump. Donald Trump was the only one that had the money involved in this.
Of course,
he was the one signing the checks.
That everybody can come in cahoots with each other to go against a person. You don't think that's possible?
Oh, I never said that. But what I did say, Piff, what I never said it wasn't possible. Winning the lottery is possible, but the odds of it happening aren't that high. Do you get what I'm saying? And see, the fact that you cannot simply think to yourself, you know what? I don't know Zeus. Zeus doesn't know me. But the fact that he's taking time out of his busy life to actually push back against some of the stuff I'm talking about, I might want to rethink what he's saying. But the fact that you can't do that is the problem here.
I voted for Trump in 2020.
I get that, but you can't
No, I'm
think.
talking to that person in the comments. They said who I vote for. I
No, no,
voted
no.
for
I
Trump.
get that. I get that. But the
Okay.
problem I'm having with you is you don't have the ability to think critically.
I
Because
do. I
no, no, no,
trust
no,
me,
no,
man.
no,
Look,
no,
I'm
no, no,
gonna say
Pip.
this,
I
right?
gotta go.
So,
I gotta go, Pip. I'll say
okay, so
this. Eh,
before you go, man, before you go, I grew up under a lot of these liberal conditions, man. So the reason why I voted for Trump, 2016, I was just like
What?
anybody else. I clowned Trump for running for president. But as far as when he got into the office and I seen the things that he did for people for black people alone, prior to 2020,
What did
when
he
all
do?
this stuff started happening with the COVID, and excuse me if I'm not supposed to say that, but as far as all that stuff that went on, the political witch hunt and all that BLM stuff, that's what changed the dynamic of how people actually feel about Trump. And the thing is, people are not realizing now, the more that people sit up and they spend all their time bashing this man and doing all this type of stuff, trying to put these political witch hunts against him and everything, that's only going to make him popular and make more people want to be around him. So if
Okay,
he
I get that. I
so if
get
he
that.
is doing all this bad stuff and negative stuff and everything, then people, y'all look, y'all gonna have to do some type of convincing, because at the end of the day, I'm just being honest with you. It's not looking like for Biden
Okay,
and
okay,
any of these liberal strongholds that they have, man. I guarantee you, man, that people there are also tired of what's going on as well, man. So that's why people are supporting Trump, man. So
okay.
remove all the political stuff, remove all the convictions and stuff like that. People are supporting him because they see what's going on.
Okay,
But
all right.
just
Now, can I say this? What part of the country are you from?
I live in Vegas.
Okay, you live in Vegas.
Yep.
All right, and it sounds to me like you're black, correct?
Yep, I'm very
All right,
black.
all right, cool, cool, cool. The thing is, when you said Donald Trump has done things for black folks, I got a little thrown off. What did he do for the black community?
I mean, your HBCUs, they was going every
Biden has given more money
look,
to
man, the
HB.
Biden reversed that stuff when he first got in
No,
office,
no,
man.
no, no,
Trump,
he did not. So this is what I'm saying, brother. Biden has done more for the black community if you're talking HBCUs. Biden has gotten the unemployment, helped to get the unemployment rate the lowest it's ever been for black folks.
that's a
All right?
lie, Bill,
No, no,
man.
no, no, no. You don't gotta believe me. The exercise here is that I'm asking you to go do your own research
I
and come
did.
back. And no, no,
I
no,
did.
no. Now, listen. I let you say what you had to say. All right, seriously. The second thing here is, Donald Trump has a pattern of being a racist.
Just like Joe Biden.
No, 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 no. Joe Biden has never told employees to get to the back of his businesses. He's never done that.
I mean, he ain't have to when he was locking them up, though. So he ain't have to when he was locking them up at a expeditious rate.
You mean like Donald Trump was trying to get the Central Park Five locked up?
Hey,
Joe
look,
Biden never
I don't
directly
feel
locked
sorry for the
anybody.
Central Park Five, though. I see. I'm
Oh,
one of those black people that don't feel sorry for the Central Park Five.
so okay, okay. So let me finish getting to what I was saying about you being a black man in America. You believe in civil rights, correct?
I believe in. I don't know. I
You
believe in personal
do,
rights because civil
no.
rights. Civil rights has moved the goalpost. So I don't know what civil rights really even means.
Do you think you should be able to vote? Do you think you should have the right to vote?
If I work and
No.
if I'm a productive citizen, yeah, I believe I should vote.
Okay. So you don't think black people should have the right to vote?
I'm saying people who do not provide, or
No,
people
no,
who
no.
do not
Answer,
people who do not see. Look, we have a lot
Pip.
of
You're not
people
answering
voting,
my question.
but we have people that are voting every goddamn year. They don't pay no
Pip,
taxes. They don't work. They don't
Pip,
do anything. So
Pip.
why should they vote?
You just acknowledged you're a black man in Las Vegas, and
Yes.
what you're saying to me is you don't believe you should have the right to vote.
I didn't say that. I said that
Well, then answer the question.
people who don't, I have the right to vote because I am someone.
Do you think you should have the right to
Give
date? Do
back
you
to
think you should?
society.
Do
I
you
pay taxes and everything
do
else.
you
So
do
yes,
you
I
think you should
able
be
to
able to
vote.
marry whoever you want to marry, or do
Yes,
you
I
think?
believe that. I'm
No, you
married
don't.
right now. I'm married
No.
right now.
What's the nationality of your
She's
wife?
black. She's a black
Okay,
woman.
okay. But do you think you should be able to marry a woman of any nationality that you want to?
I believe anybody should be able to marry anybody, man. Because
Okay. So you think? So it sounds to me like you believe that folks should have access to those civil rights that Democrats helped get passed.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Okay. So this is why I'm telling you, go look up whatever it is that you're being told that Joe Biden is telling black folks, because 9 times out of 10, you're wrong. You believe you should have the right to vote, but you know what's going on up here? You don't want to actually have to really think about what you're saying on this app. The
I think
people in the
about what I'm
comments,
saying before I say it.
no. But if you did, you would understand you're wrong. You're wrong because you don't understand what's really going on. You're going off of emotion. You're going off of mainstream media. And it needs to stop, brother. It really does.
All right, can I say one more thing, and then I get off. I get off your time.
Well, let me ask you. Will you promise to do more research about whatever it is you're currently believing? Because after this conversation that you've had with me, what's really clear to me and a lot of others is you really don't understand what you're talking about.
And that's what a lot of y'all black liberals do, man. Y'all literally sit up and say that we don't know anything that we're talking about because we don't.
Okay, what was the last thing you wanted me to say? What was the
man,
last thing you wanted me to say?
How I feel, brother, we can agree to disagree, but as black people, at the end of the day,
you can agree to disagree, but only one of us is right. Remember, if I say I don't need air to breathe, that is not true. I could believe that, but if you take the air away from me, I ain't gonna be alive. Somebody up here is lying. Somebody's lying, bro, and it's not me.
That, right? But it's a lot of people out here feel like that they should gain from the system as well their whole lives. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about a lot of people. I'm talking about you.
To tell them that they're right or wrong for using the system the best way they can. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not out here to control anybody's mindset. And that's what I feel like the liberals are trying to do.
Okay,
Y'all are trying to control the mindset instead of agreeing to disagree. And then we, as black people, we work on things together.
No. How can two walk together unless they're in agreement? See, the thing is, if you are refusing and you're choosing to be willfully ignorant, all right, that's a personal issue. That ain't no we issue. I'm sitting here telling you you're wrong. Go challenge yourself to get access to new information so you can make better and informed decisions. All right, your claim about Joe. No.
You wouldn't come sit at the table with me because I'm wrong, but
because you have a spirit of you have a spirit.
Listen, but that's all black liberals though. That's the problem. That's why. We're conservatives, and that's why y'all are liberal.
Here we go.
There's a big difference between the both. See, we will sit down with the people across the aisle. Y'all are the ones that just only want to pass y'all stuff, and y'all only want us to support what y'all are saying.
No. I don't want you.
I don't listen. What I don't want the narrative. Y'all are not. Y'all sit here and say we need more research. Man, listen, bro. I get up every day, bro. I get up every day. I wake up in the morning, and guess what? The first thing I do in the morning, I look at all the crime that goes on, all the crime. Then I look at where the crime goes on at.
I'm gonna stop you right. Yeah, but here's the problem, brother. Your sources are limited, and listen to me. You've gotten in your education, right? What's the highest degree you've gotten to? What's the highest you've gotten?
I just graduated high school.
Okay, all right. So there's levels to this, right? When I graduated high school, I saw the world one way, right? Then you get your, you got to go to your next level. You get your associate's degree, right? You get your bachelor's, then you get your master's. One of the things that you learn as you continue to get higher up is that a lot of the information that you learned growing up, you need to go back and revisit it because there's a lot more to what's going on than what you initially were exposed to. You get what I'm saying? And for instance, I have a background in, let's just say, math, right? You know what I had to learn in that class? You can't make up answers, right? You can't go, well, I feel 1 + 1 is 5, and then turn in your test and get an A+. So you actually have to learn how to go back and say, now that this is what I think, now let me put that through this test to make sure what I'm thinking is aligned with what the consensus of the truth is, right? And I don't think you've gone through that exercise quite well. Right?
I went through a lot of exercises,
no. Because when you said you wake up and you look at the crime and I said, where are you getting it from? Well, if you're only getting it from what you can see, This means you haven't gone to the next level, which is taking yourself out of your comfort zone
Man,
and
I done
going
been on
and,
the,
and
I done
and
been on
going
the
to
FBI
subject.
website. So you saying the FBI is lying about black on black crime? Is that what y'all? Is that what you saying? See, the thing
No,
is,
no, no,
right,
no,
bro.
no, 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 no,
See,
no, 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 no. Stop right there. What I'm saying is you don't know how to interpret data. You're the type of person that you'll see a statistic and you'll say, I know what this means. I'm telling you, you need to go back and understand how to look at information and think critically when you read it and expose it. Then you go take the FBI data and you go compare that to a journal that actually people study those kind of
so
statistics.
you think a 34-year-old, so you would think a 34-year-old man, right? So I'm just keep it a being with you, right? I grew up in Arkansas. You get what I'm saying? So I grew up pretty much. Um, I watched people support Bill Clinton and all them, and I was a kid then, and I literally watched Bill, and when they left office, they literally took everything from Arkansas. Okay, so this is not like it's
So I'm
some.
gonna tell you what went on in my head. What you just made me imagine is when Bill Clinton got into office, him and a gang of robbers went to
We all
Arkansas
we
and
all
took
supported
everything.
black people
Wait,
supported
wait, wait, wait.
Bill just for Bill to take things from them.
But did you hear what I said? So what you're saying is Bill Clinton and a mob of his folks went to Arkansas and like gangbusters said, "Oh, there's the black people," and they went and snatched everything and ran out. Is that what happened?
Nah, he played a
Okay.
saxophone. He played a saxophone,
Okay. Okay.
and
You said
he
nah.
won
Okay.
black
Okay.
people
Okay. I
over.
thought
He
so.
won
I'm
black
glad you
people over, and he didn't have. See that the thing is right. They just gotta just
listen,
they
brother.
just gotta
Listen,
say
brother.
nice words. They just gotta say nice words to y'all, and then y'all believe whatever they say. You know,
Listen.
what I'm saying?
Listen.
Y'all
Listen.
take it and run with it, and then y'all tell other black people that they're wrong because they don't believe what the Democrats tell y'all.
You know what? The conversation you and I are having, this warrants a closet of truth. I'm gonna need you to follow Zeus, and we're gonna finish this conversation later. But I do have to move it on, brother. I mean, but if I don't talk to you again, all I'm going to say is, based on this initial conversation, it sounds to me like you're curious enough to actually learn things, but you have a problem with your pride, right? You don't want to admit that there's a chance you might be wrong and Zeus might be right because you think this is some competition.
Listen, brother, I'm not saying that you're wrong at all. I'm not saying that. Look, but politics, man, I get it, right? But our skin color comes before all this stuff, and that's what I'm saying to you, my brother. Like at the end of the day, you might not agree with anything that I'm saying. You might not agree with how I believe. You feel what I'm saying? And like I said, I see the comments. I'm not on here flashing out. I'm actually, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually speaking
Yeah,
from my.
but is there is
You know what
there
I'm saying? I'm not. I'm trying to be logic with you. I'm not. See, I'm not one of those people that come in and say weird stuff, say crazy stuff, because this is a lived experience, my brother,
yeah,
and
but
that's the only reason why I became a conservative person, because I lived as a liberal pretty much my whole life, man, and it didn't get me anywhere. You know
I
what I'm
don't.
saying?
Okay,
I
okay.
didn't live.
That's okay. Let this be. Today is what, Tuesday, June 11th. That statement is what you believe. All right, and I truly believe that's what you believe. But I also believe this, and this is it. I don't think you've actually looked at all the information that's out there. And to me, I believe that if you really were to sit down and look at the information and stop your mind from going this way and that way, right? And just really sit back and listen, I guarantee you wouldn't be saying what you're saying. Because this isn't even about liberalism or being on the right. This is simply about telling the truth.
Incorrect. But after seeing stuff about Jim Crow and coming from the South and coming from seeing in the 90s, racism was still alive too as well.
Listen,
So the
listen,
thing,
listen. You're
so the
trying to
thing is, so
convolute. You're
all
trying
I'm
to
saying,
convolute. You're trying to bring 20 issues into one thing. And I'm asking you to really go back and revisit that approach because it's not working. It hasn't.
anything that I go back and look at that makes me feel some type of way about the Democrats, it has all to do with racism.
You
Like
can
it has
find.
nothing.
Listen. Put
It
it. Put
has
it. Put,
nothing.
put it
It
this
has
way.
nothing to do with.
Put
It
it
has
this
nothing to
way.
do with
Put it this
policies.
way.
It
Put it
has
this
nothing
way.
to do with any of that other stuff.
Put
It
it
has
this way,
something to do
brother.
with.
Put it this way, brother. You can find anything to support your bias on the internet. That's not making you intelligent.
And
Did
correct,
you
correct.
get
And I
so
can say the same. And I can say the same thing about you as well. But I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're.
no,
I'm not
but
saying that you are or not smart. I'm not saying that any of that stuff. You get what I'm not saying that.
I
That's
get
what
what you're
liberals do.
saying.
That's
No,
what. Oh, we need to do more research. No, I think that. I
Jesus
think that
Christ,
maybe
bro.
y'all need to do some more research as well. But
All
at the
right,
end of the
listen,
day,
I gotta get out of here. All right, I gotta get out of here. All right.
I I got
But
you. I
all right.
appreciate you for the time, bro. I appreciate you for questioning
Yep.
me up, man. Cause trust me, man, I ain't running from no fight, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Piff, unfortunately, brother, you are still on the wrong side of history. And, while that was a great conversation, just in this sense, a lot of you don't know. The reason I was able to talk to him like this is because when I'm out in my real life and I run across brothers like that, it really does turn into a parking lot moment. And I got to sit there and go, okay, so we going to really have this conversation. All right. He's curious, but he's a long, long way of comprehending. And I'll say this, all right, the last brother that I got into a conversation like this, he was hell bent on proving to me that Fonnie Willis, you wouldn't believe this, Letitia James and Alvin Bragg, these liberals, they were the real criminals, and that Donald Trump was innocent, right? This is what happened in real life. Then I was sending them text messages saying, no, Letitia James is actually doing her job. Alvin Bragg doing his job. They're not the criminals. Donald Trump is. Oh no, Donald Trump's not the criminal. That's why this whole case is going to get tossed out, talking about the Alvin Bragg case. Guess what happened? And this is with a brother out here that I know in real life. Alvin Bragg's case came through. Donald Trump convicted on 34 counts. I sent this brother a text message. I said, did you see the news? Alvin Bragg's case actually was true. Donald Trump is guilty, all 34 counts. And I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, this brother stopped texting Zeus. He stopped texting me, right? I said, oh, and now it just blew his whole thing away. 5 days later, you get a reply. Ha ha. I said, yeah, that's about as much time as it takes for stuff to start sinking in with these Trump supporters. Now, has he actually came out and given a full throat endorsement of President Biden? Oh, absolutely not. But I'll tell you one thing. He's starting to come around and realize, oh, that brother Zeus, he a lot smarter and more savvy than I thought he was. And I better think twice before I send him any more things. Now the text messages, they're questions. Zeus, what do you think about this? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my, look at the time. Oh my goodness. I got to get up out of here. I really do. I really got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. I like to bring a lot of the mutuals up and have that conversation, but that conversation went way too far. All right. I hope you all enjoyed the show. I will be back tomorrow. Same Zeus time, same Zeus channel. You all love that, all right? And to that brother, think twice about what you and I discussed, all right? And I guarantee you, as time continues, I will become the one that is more right than you are, all right? But before I go, you all deserve a round of applause. You do. You're welcome, Tiffany. I didn't know that conversation was going to go that far. All right, to the subscribers, to the gifters, to the moderators, to the panelists. Minus that brother right there. He's a MAGA Demon, all right? You all did an outstanding job, all right? But you know what we got to do? We got to give one final round of booze and shame for the Zeus haters out there. You know exactly who these folks are. They spend all their days, all this time on TikTok spreading misinformation and disinformation on behalf of Vladimir Putin and the Kremlin, all right? They promote evil, misogyny, bigotry, racism, and all forms of criminality and corruption on behalf of Donald J. Trump. These folks are the worst of the worst. They are the scum of the earth, all right? And listening to that brother that just came in the box, this one is for you. Really do better to become more informed about what you're talking about, all right? Let's give them what they deserve. Our final round of booze and shame. Jesus Christ. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. All right? What a show. What a show. Yeah. You said Joe Biden. Donald Trump has done more for black people than Joe Biden. That's crazy. That's crazy talk to me. Just go look up Joe Biden's record, all right, on voting rights, and go look up Donald Trump's record, all right? Look at who's really going after black people, all right? And then you look at Joe Biden before you say that. I mean, this is ridiculous, folks. Right, Takesha? Thank you, Zena. Thank you, everyone. I got money. I got, hey. You fall in love too quick. Let's go. I put a bounty on it today. Let's go, heaven. Yeah, grab your goose. Hey, little mama, let me play with your caboose. The 94 crime bill. Seriously, that's all you got, conservative, whatever. Look at what Donald, I guarantee you, if you look at Donald Trump's record and what he did to black folks, all right? Proud Boy, stand back and stand by. Yeah, right. So many things to talk about. This is how I stick Reggie. All right, work bros. It's OC. Let's go. Yeah, I'm on welfare. Yeah. I'm on everything you ain't on. How about that? You know, MAGA, when you tell me I'm doing bad, that means I'm doing good. Yeah. Donald Trump disrespects our soldiers, all right? But then he turns around and calls the January 6ers warriors. Yeah. All right, and thank you, Ann. Hey. I am so sorry. I didn't get to bring up the panelists. Oh yeah, gas was cheaper under Obama. Later. Love you, Dark Jazzy, Darkest Jazzy. Yes, Trump is losing. Yeah, Joe Two Fools. Ladies love me, yeah. I'm the one that time to let loose with the truth. So handsome. That's why they call me Zeus. And for you Trump supporters, I guarantee you by November, you all are going to be going like this. Oh my gosh, Zeus was right. I love you too. Yes, I love all of you. Seriously. Here we go.
I just want to find.
No. I don't need to back up my claims with MAGA. I'm winning. You're losing. You go hang out with Snuggles. Thank you, Ange. Hey, Reggie, Valerie, thank you. Tiffany for the people. It's OC, Emily, all of you. Hit him with the Jack Smith remix.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith. He's deranged. Jack Smith.
He's deranged. Jack Smith. Thank you, Rick.
He's deranged.
Jack Smith.
Donald Trump is indicted and they take one charge and they turn it into 36 charges. And he's a big Trump hater. Openly, he's a Trump hater. And his wife is even more of a Trump hater.
Exactly. All right, let's get out of here. All right. So this is the Trump supporters right now, ladies and gentlemen. Even while Donald Trump has been indicted, right? Even though he's been indicted, and they know the writing is on the wall that he's not going to get reelected. This is Donald Trump convincing his supporters that he's going to get elected in November.
We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans.
Right.
We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning.
Yeah.
And you'll say, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much.
Right.
And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep
winning.
We have to win
more.
We're going to win
more. See, that's what he's doing. He's spreading it right for you Trump supporters, right? But then we all know what he's going to do at election night. This is exactly how it's going to play all over again, MAGA. Listen up. Listen to his enthusiasm.
We had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight, and then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won it by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left.
Yeah.
We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened?
What?
They knew they couldn't win, so they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court.
But you were going to win.
So Florida was a tremendous victory.
What happened to all the winning? Remember, we're going to win.
76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public.
Really?
This is an embarrassment to our country.
Tell me.
We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election.
Woo! This November, I tell you, there's going to be a lot of grown folks crying. All right, let's get out of here, ladies and gentlemen. But before we do, let's drop the bomb.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
That's right. You ain't black. You ain't nothing but a modern day slave. All right, I'm out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, take care and stay safe out there in those TikTok streets.